Hi, welcome to our first episode of our Spider-Man feature. We're taking a look at the PC version of Spider-Man 3. The Amazing Spider-Man movie is coming out next month, and we got the game coming out on the 26th of June, so I thought we'd run down the last few Spider-Man games that have come out, starting with this little gem here. We're going to work our way up to the Amazing Spider-Man game, which I will be getting on day one, and I will also do a video for that. So we're going to skip Shattered Dimensions because nobody cares. We're just going to look at the more recent Edge of Time when we get there. But like I said, first we're looking at Spider-Man 3. This is the PC version. I am playing with an Xbox controller. It's the way to play it. This is the last one based on the movie series, the original movie series. Tobey Maguire here voicing the character. This time, I don't really think any of the other cast are. Eddie Brock, Topher Grace, he's also voicing his character, as well as I believe J. Jonah Jameson has his voice, and the Sandman. But probably not gonna run into too much of that here. Right now, I'm just kind of swinging around the city. This was not a very great Spider-Man game, and it's disappointing because at the time Spider-Man 2 was the best Spider-Man game, and I mean, when this came out, it was probably the best Spider-Man game at the time, but I have a lot of issues with the camera. I think the mobility in the game is alright, like the swinging's kind of fun, and the web zip's real nice. The good sense of speed, and I really like the city. I think this has one of the best cities out of a Spider-Man game, and there's a good sense of scale, but the combat was kind of they kind of lost some of the luster of the combat from Spider-Man 2, and I don't know. I think they've gone on to do it better since then, but camera issues really plague this one. It doesn't have a lock-on camera that works real well. It constantly wants to snap back to its original position, and like right there, you can see the camera gets a little crazy. So yeah, I'm just kind of circling around this area. I got a mission queued up here, but first I want to show you some stuff. Just swing around. You can have a spider sense that you can activate here, and see, you can see I try to move the camera and just snaps right back. Makes things really confusing sometimes. But there are random street crimes, which is something that has been persistent in almost all Spider-Man games, and here's one now. So that's what I was waiting for. So you can see there's like a green spot on my radar there, and if I go on my spider sense, I can usually see what's going on. Yeah, see that car? Looks like a drunk driver of sorts or something, but yeah. Some of the problems with this game are right here. There's a lot of things you gotta get on top of these vehicles and like attack them, but just like the detection of contact with some objects is really weird. Like I should be jumping on top of this car, and you just will not get on there. There we go. Yeah, so this was a really big game to kind of push the quick time events in this day and age. It really added to the cinematic appeal of the game, which actually, some of that stuff's really cool, but it's quick time events and may have been fresh at the time, definitely not relevant now. But yeah, there's a lot of kind of random crimes. You save people, pick them up and carry them, just beat up thugs. You can jump on cars and rip people out of them. But we're going to jump into one of the story missions, and this is actually the Lizard involving Kurt Connors, which really fits because that'll be the villain in the Amazing Spider-Man movie. The game, not so much, but this is actually a scene that's going to take place underground. We're probably not going to see a whole lot of free roaming, but yeah, these little icons around the map, you can just go up to them and get into your missions. There's some pretty terrible cutscenes and with some pretty terrible voice acting from all the cast. Yeah, as you can see, not the best looking thing. I mean, this game came out in 2007 when the movie came out. So not a bad interpretation of the Lizard. Actually, probably better than what they're gonna. I don't really like the way the Lizard looks in the movie they got coming out. I think it's an odd villain choice, but I don't know. The movie looks pretty fucking awesome. So yeah, there's gonna be quite a bit of the cinematic stuff here, but some of these cutscenes, The graphics in this game at the time even weren't that great, but it is a movie license game. You know, they did the best of what they could. So this is kind of the terrible combat, which to me is mostly just, hey, get as high as you can and just web guys up and keep doing that unless they're too big of an opponent to do it. But I mean, the way the camera moves is just so easy to get confused. I mean, look at that. I would fall down this tunnel and you can't even see the character. The indoor stuff was not the best thing for this game, but it was a cool new feature. Like you do have this giant city, and it's like, hey, they also added all these layers of sewers that you can hang out in. Yeah, just to me, the combat's all about just web people up. I mean, some of the combat in some of the other games are definitely more melee focused, but I don't know. I just yeah, so here will be some of these quick time events, and they do like to throw you for a loop on some of these, so we'll see if I mess one up. I should come across more of those later. I'll see if I can get up to the lizard. We'll see how well I get there. Just, man, sometimes like every 2 seconds you get a cutscene in this game, and that can be a little frustrating. That's a cool thing I like. It's kind of a classic Spider-Man pose, and I don't know, it's just kind of fun to do. It's actually the only point in the game you're ever going to be required to do it. This water is a little electrified. So mostly I usually just kind of hang up in the air and attack people, but there actually is a detailed combat system here. I'm going to try to show it off, but if you hold the left bumper, you can activate this slow motion, which that also is for your dodge. You can see these little icons appear. That kind of lets you know when you can dodge attacks and stuff, and you can counterattack, and it was something they had kind of had in Spider-Man 2. I actually thought Spider-Man 2 did it way better. I missed the dodge system from that game, but you know, this one works. Yeah, the combat is passable. I personally think Web of Shadows has the best combat of any of the Spider-Man games so far, although the new one looks like it'll probably be the best. Alright, so we can activate my spider sense, and it should hopefully show me where I need to go. One of the problems I have with this game is I didn't think they were very good with some of these missions. They just leave you hanging to figure out what you're supposed to do. Yeah, like how you just have to kind of figure out, oh, yeah, all the electricity meant knock these lights. And now we're going to move on. And so even in the sewers of New York, you get these big open areas where you can go swinging. So, I mean, this is an area they could have easily just done one of those quick time events like they did before, but no, they're actually going to make you swing through it. So, I guess keep you playing the game, keep you interested. I kind of like the cinematic swinging a little better sometimes, just because, you know, it looks cool. And something I look forward to in the new game, they're doing that. Oh, I couldn't... Look at the size of those bricks that broke compared to the ones behind the wall. Wonder what was going to happen there. Yeah, so this is one of the bigger enemies. You can't rope him up as easily as you can some of these smaller enemies like this, but they have other tactics to defeat them. Yeah, you see there's a little dodge there from when I was holding my slow motion. One of my favorite things from Spider-Man 2 that carried over in this is the web rodeo. We'll see if I can do it here. Yeah, there we go. That's always fun. You can there is an upgrade tree in this game. You can I don't think I have any points. I'll check in a little bit here, but you can actually upgrade so you can like rope multiple bad guys at once. It's actually kind of cool. It's just fun. Just swing them around. Oh yeah, that's good job there. But yeah, if you're ever lost, just always click your spider sense, and it's really good about showing you where to go. got this nice little sprint. One thing that it's kind of disappeared from Spider-Man games. All right, here we got another one. Hopefully that doesn't make you dizzy, because it did for me. More of the combat quick time events are the ones that are more interesting. Not like that, but during boss battles, they'll have some, like, oh, dodge all these cars that this person is throwing at you, and some of that's kind of cool. It's kind of something they're using with the new web rush in the new game. I look forward to seeing how that works, but yeah, camera not working well in these tight corridors, and as you can see, that time he got the best of me. It was actually pretty hardcore. Yeah, so right there, that little bounce back thing that didn't really work out too well. It's kind of my like special ability. You have that little spider icon by your health. You can fill that up and use these special attacks that do more damage.
That wall's too tough for me to break down, but I bet I can melt it.
I believe they're giving me hints on what I'm supposed to do. Yeah, so you can see that yellow icon generally means that you can counterattack if you're holding the slow motion spider sense attack or whatever they call it. But I think these guys are just going to keep coming until I can get those barrels. I'm not sure. It just, like, the combat is so sporadic that it's like I can't tell if I'm actually doing something I'm supposed to be doing or if I'm breaking the game. I don't know, like, it gets confusing. Like the way I like shot across the screen a little bit ago. I'm not sure if that's what was supposed to happen, but I mean it works. So yeah, here's that. Oh, never mind. I'm gonna try to use that bounce attack where it actually is handy. Yeah, eventually, like the movie, you do get in the black suit and you do play a little differently. It's not drastic, but there is a noticeable difference in the way the combat feels, and you get these rage abilities that add a little bit of ferocity, or I guess you would say, to the combat. Yeah, like whenever you're just taking on one opponent, unless it's a boss, which the only bosses I've ever had trouble with in this game are the final boss of Venom and Kingpin. And at one point you do get to play as Harry Osborn as the new Goblin, and you fight the Sandman. I really hope I was supposed to drop down here. Yeah, just gonna beat up this lizard. Bam. There was one of my special abilities. You generally activate those by holding the right bumper, and then it's like usually press X or press Y, and that's how they let you get through. But yeah, they incorporate a lot of the quick time events just in a lot of different things, like activating switches or just traveling the world in combat and boss battles. Again, this game, while following the plot of the movie, just like the second game, kind of. One thing I liked about the second game is you felt like there was a whole other world aside from what was going on in the movie. Like the stuff with Black Cat, actually, like a lot of that stuff was kind of interesting, and I don't like. I really like that game, and they did a lot with it. And there's some of that in this one where you just imagine that there is this whole other world outside of the movies, but I don't think they pulled it off as well this time around. There is some enemies in here that are not from the movie, and I think they did a decent enough job. The most interesting one, they actually have a scorpion in here, and there's actually an interesting storyline there, but nothing that really stands out. Oh. Yeah, so some of the camera issues, just like it's hard to even see that, you know? I'm just going to keep tapping X and B, I guess. There's Connors as the lizard. One thing that this game had that I haven't really had to use yet in this video, but that something that was lost in the other games is just a button to allow you to stick to walls. Like in this game for the Xbox version, you just go up to a wall and you press B, and he will stick to that wall and climb on it. You'll see in some of the later games that that's not such the case. I'm not sure exactly how it is. We'll get to it when we get to it, but there's some business Spider-Man games that's like you just walk against the wall and that's how you climb on it, just automatic, and that's kind of poor. I love the button ability to just like hit the button and you stick to the wall. That's the way it should be. Web of Shadow does have like a run that allows you to get on the walls, but yeah, I just like you hit the button and you climb. So yeah, adding some danger, making me run. Thing's actually kind of close on me. Yeah, not real difficult. This isn't really a hard game. Some of the other games I actually feel challenging. This one's just kind of there.
Bet those grinders would hurt.
I don't believe you can change the difficulty or anything. And of course, they never make it easy to figure out what you're supposed to do. Oh, something with these, man? Nope. Oh, okay.
You'd be more credible if you weren't this close to being puppy chow. Now I know what a fruit smoothie.
Yeah, so I'm gonna hold the dodge button, and then I can counterattack the lizard.
That's no good. I'm really stringy.
Oh, and awesome. It's a real nice close-up they got of him there.
Is that where this goes?
Oh, so I have to hold my reflexes. That's okay. Sorry, I didn't read that.
Bet those grinders would hurt.
Well, we'll give this one more shot, see what happens.
I will feed whatever's left of you to my brothers.
That's no good. I'm really stringy.
Yeah, there you go. That time, I see. So yeah, rule of 3. Let's do it.
Go to your doom now.
Is that where this belt goes? I was wondering.
And just hold him there. When we say we're gonna do it one more time, that's 1, 2, and 3.
Now I know what a fruit smoothie feels like.
I mean, you think someone would learn like the first time? Hey, it's probably not gonna work again, but whatever. Oh, hey, maybe it will. What are you doing to make myself just look like an ass?
Carrots grind or be ground.
And there we go. 3. Ooh. Here's a little combat quick time. See, if they had a way to make combat like that in a Spider-Man game, hopefully that's what they're pulling off of this next one. That'd be fun. Like the way it is in the movie, very flashy and acrobatic. That's what makes Spider-Man so much fun to watch, and they do the best they can. I know game mechanics like that, I'm sure, are not easy to create, but this is not the worst game. Like if this game is fairly cheap on any system you want to buy it on, there is a special edition on PlayStation where you automatically get the downloadable content, which is you get to play as the new Goblin and fly around. Not even really worth paying for, but it's kind of a cool feature. But if you were to buy only one Spider-Man game and this was it, I'd recommend a different one, but you wouldn't still be able to enjoy a Spider-Man game. There are worse Spider-Man games out there. Yeah, so this is my first boss battle with the lizard, which there will be many. I'm not going to do them all, obviously, but you will fight him quite a few times. Some of them are a little more challenging. This is just, you know, beat him up. I don't even think you have to bring his health all the way down here. If you bring him down about halfway, I'm pretty sure he's going to run away or something. But, like, all the combat just comes down to bashing X and Y for your combos and holding left bumper to add slow motion and dodge. Nothing real crazy. And then you can do your special attacks, which I always seem to be wasting. But a group of people, some of them are pretty good. When you get the black suit and you're fighting Kingpin later on, definitely pay attention to your counters and your special abilities, because it's actually a pretty tough fight. You're fighting them in a very small area, and as you can see, this game does not work well with small areas. Well, maybe I will have to bring his health all the way down. Oh, it's been a long time since I played this game. Yeah, I hate just getting stuck on the wall, beating somebody up. I love just like, anytime he gets hit, it's just, it looks like he just died every time. His body just goes limp and flying all over the place. This game does hit all the points of the movie. They actually do some pretty well. I really like the fight with the Sandman and Venom. Probably the highlights of the game. Although they can be kind of difficult, especially the Sandman one. It's just knowing exactly what to do. But we're going to end this real shortly here. We'll do this little quick time, which I always seem to fail this one. Oh, yep, that's usually what gets me is the trigger. That may be the first time I ever actually got that one without screwing it up. Yeah, this is the flashy Spider-Man 3, so hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching.